Okay, guys, so we're still on the issue of the lady that set her husband on fire for having child outside their marriage. I mean, the Cairo-based businessman who was set ablaze. So the mother has her own version of the story. According to her, this is the same building that a flat in it was set on fire. She said on that particular day that tragic incident happened, that her daughter-in-law previously called her that same day to tell her that his son, that is her husband, was drunk and is misbehaving. So this old woman, this elderly woman, went to their house because they are not living far from each other, and she met her son sleeping. And the wife complained that the man was already drunk, and she said, okay, when he wakes up, give him milk to calm down the alcohol in the system. So, according to this woman, this is grandmother, she left them and went back to her house with her husband. That is with the husband of this elderly woman you are seeing right now. So, according to her, she said that when they got home, not just like 1 hour or 2 hours, then this lady that set her husband on fire now called to say that on that particular day that heaven or hell will receive a visitor. And she said, what do you mean? Then the daughter-in-law now explained that there's this side chick of her husband that is pregnant. And this woman now said she told the daughter-in-law that we are just coming back from your place now. You should have thanked us first, for reaching out to you guys to know how you are feeling, since you said your husband was somehow drunk and misbehaving. So now we just got back home and now you are complaining of a side chick with pregnancy. So why don't you allow this matter to rest first? Then we talk over it later. So that was what this woman told the granddaughter, according to this elderly woman. So this woman said that then she thought the matter was somehow resolved or allowed to be for some time. Then they can talk over it. So that was all. Then late in the night, one of her little child who lives with the lady and her husband called her that the couple are fighting, that the house is on fire. So she ran as fast as her legs could carry her. When she got there, she saw smoke everywhere. Everywhere has been enveloped by smoke. So, but fortunately, her son has been pulled out and has been taken to the hospital. So that was all she knew. Then a few days later, her son gave up the ghost. So according to her, this is the same house. That is where she's granting this interview. This interview is in Yoruba language, so I just had to do voiceover on it for the sake of those that will not be speaking or wouldn't understand Yoruba. So this is the same house that was set ablaze. This particular building here, that is a flat inside, sort of, was set ablaze, according to this elderly woman. And so that's just the summary of what she's trying to explain. So, and this is the brother. The brother of the guy also have his own side of story. His name is Bamidele Tunde. He said that actually there was this issue of a child outside marriage, and and they are trying to sort out the matter. So eventually his brother slept that night, placed his hand on his mobile phone, and then without knowing, the wife went and took the phone and they saw their conversations. And then what she did, you can see these are some of the things that got burnt in the house. This thing you are seeing, but this is just the same house was burnt. So the brother said what the lady did was, there's this little girl staying with them, one of their younger sister. She sent that one on errand. That's this lady that set her husband on fire. Sent that little girl on errand and then put on generator. And I believe the essence of putting on the generator was to silence the voice of her husband when he would be shouting. I mean, this is so mean. This is demonic act of highest order, honestly. So, and then she set the house ablaze and the house started to burn. The house started to burn while somebody was inside while asleep. That is to say, the brother, that is Mr. T, Bamidele was asleep. As you can see, he was already sleeping when the wife doused fuel all over, and this guy started burning. She locked every door. The entire door that will lead to where this guy will be rescued was on fire. And this guy was around just for the sake of the wife's birthday, to celebrate her birthday with her, but eventually now she's being roasted like he goat. So that was just it. And neighbors tried to rescue him, by breaking windows, breaking doors, using sand, using whatever available to put off the fire. And then the wife, the culprit herself, was nowhere to be found. So she ran away after setting the husband on fire. And the degree of the fire was so unbelievable, according to the brother here. The everything in the house, properties, got burnt. This same house inside, as you can see, got burnt. So these are some of the properties, as the mother has earlier stated, got burnt. So the brother spent few days in the hospital, and that was it. This is just an issue that could have been resolved instead of setting somebody ablaze. So a few days later, this guy gave up the ghost. That is, his brother died, and then he has been buried peacefully. So that is summary of the explanation from the brother and the mother of the